back, everyone. This is Travis here of Fisher Hex. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the 60-gallon planted cube here in my son's room. We're going to be talking about the new additions, doing a water change, and then talk about some of the growth that I've seen over the last couple weeks. So let's go ahead and get into it. Well, as you guys can see, I added discus to the planted tank. Now, I've been wanting to do this for some time now. The problem is I just didn't find a retailer or better yet a breeder that I wanted to get discus from. They are pretty finicky fish, and they have a high mortality rate if you don't do the right things, and if you don't get from a good source, they tend to not do very well. So I've been shying away from them because of those reasons. But when I was purchasing my Senai Reef, the same guy actually sells discus and breeds discus, and well, that was a perfect opportunity to start going down that route. Now, the planted tank itself used to have gouramis and cichlids in it, and I gathered them all up, brought them to my local fish store, and they were adopted out. I went back a couple of days later, and all of them were gone, which is a good thing. If you're not aware of this, discus require a higher temperature, of course, which a lot of plants do not like, but luckily so far, I've had these guys for a couple weeks now, and I have the temperature currently at 83 degrees, and all the plants are doing fine. I was worried about them maybe wilting and dying, but all of them are doing pretty good. Now, when it comes to water changes, I have to increase my water changes. There's no doubt about it. I was doing one every week before. Now I'm doing 3 of them a week, up to 50%, which is okay. It's something that it just has to happen if you want to be successful with these guys, especially in a planted tank where detritus and stuff like that can gather up in pockets. But what I have done since then is I've also added some neon tetras to kind of help let the fish know that it's okay to swim about, so to get them out. I've also added 3 albino cory cats, and then also added some snails. So it's pretty much taking care of the detritus issue. Plus, they feel like they can come out and swim more, which is definitely a good thing. When it comes to water changes, you have a choice. You can either use tap water or RO DI water. I've chosen to go with just RO water minus the DI, which is about 1 TDS. Now, to make up for the lack of elements that are in the water because of the filtration process, I'm adding equilibrium and discus trace to the water before I add it to the planted tank, just to make sure that the plants not only get the nutrients that they need from the water column, but it's also good for the fish as well, and it stabilizes pH, which is also important. So currently right now I'm doing approximately 90 gallons a week worth of water change, which is definitely a lot of water, especially on the RO side of things. I might, depending on how my situation goes, I might consider using maybe 1/3 tap water and the rest RO water. Just we'll see how that plays out. I'm happy with the results I'm getting so far, and it's been, like I said, a couple weeks, and the plants are growing crazy. They're out of the tank. I'll show you guys that here later in the video, but I'm having amazing growth. The fish are not showing any stress signs at the moment, and they are eating like horses, and I don't want to mess with a good thing, because if they are happy, I'm happy, and unfortunately, if that requires me to do 90 gallons worth of water changes a week, then so be it, right? When it comes to the water change on there, just like the reef tank, I always clean the glass first. I can't obviously use a razor blade on acrylic, but I do use like a felt sponge kind of cleaner, and then it just kind of gets in there and gets all the algae off without any issues. It does take a little bit longer, even if it is a smaller tank than the reef. It does take longer than the reef tank, just because it seems like that kind of algae, the green algae, is just this stubborn stuff that needs to be worked on a little bit before it comes off. But it's only about 30 minutes or so worth of scrubbing, and at the end of the day, it makes the tank look good for the entire week, honestly. Once that's done, I'll start siphoning water out. I don't get into the gravel or mess with any of that stuff. I just simply siphon from the middle of the tank into a 20-gallon bucket, which then I bring outside and dump down the drain. After that, I just add the PVC water change adapter, let the tank fill up, and it's done. It's that simple. When it comes to plant growth in this tank, it's absolutely insane. It has tripled over the last 3 weeks. Now, between the 420 watts of LED lighting, the CO2 system, and those 3 water changes a week, how could it not, really? The Amazon swords themselves, pretty awesome. They're actually growing out of the water. They're about a half a foot out. They look pretty cool. And then the baby tears have extended themselves about halfway back through the tank, which is double of what they were just a few weeks ago, which is awesome. As for future plans for this tank, really the only thing that I plan on doing is adding a few more neon tetras, just because I want a little bit more movement of smaller fish within the tank. But other than that, everything's going to stay the same. I really don't have any reason to change it. Everything is successfully growing. The fish are happy, healthy, and eating. So why make any changes that don't need to happen? We got, 8 months left on the system, so let's see how big and beautiful we can make it before I have to tear it down. Well, guys, that's about it for this video. I haven't shown too much of planted tanks because you guys really aren't into the planted so much as you are the reef. So I will do some more updates on this as we go over the next 8 months. But either way, I hope you liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Peace.